Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tim and today I'm continuing my playthrough of Skies Above Britain, starting on patrol number 2 of chapter 3. So let's get started. Clear off some of this stuff from the last patrol here. Alright, so let's roll for our random events first. And it is 11, which is cratered. Ooh, I don't like that one. I think this might mean we don't get our replacements that we thought we were getting too. Oh, let's see. Cratered. Here it is. Your aerodrome has been attacked. You must temporarily operate from a nearby aerodrome. Parts and replacements are delayed. Add 1 inbound vector marker to the raid track in the second inbound space, as shown at right. No pilot may return from the hospital this patrol, and pilots returning from the bailout box are delayed 1 patrol. Okay, so it doesn't affect our replacements. But we didn't have anyone returning from the bailout box. Atkinson just got there, so he wouldn't be returning now anyway. And we already rolled for our hospital returns. So yeah, I think we might need to start delaying those until the beginning of the patrol. See, the problem is then that's tricky, because then we got to remember which ones just arrived in the hospital. I guess we could roll. How would that work? I don't know. I'll have to think on that one. But it won't affect us this time because we didn't have anyone that was returning from the hospital. So yeah, I think there's basically no effect other than the extra inbound vector marker. All right, so let's go ahead and get those set up first then. And then we will figure out our pilot situation. We're just still cleaning up a little bit from last patrol. All right, get our inbound vector markers shuffled up. And again, we're using this chart now for that. So we're actually going to have 2 in this spot now instead of only 1. Get this out of the way. All right, so 2 in the second spot. 2 in the third spot. 3. And 4. And 2. All right. Now for our pilots, let's take a look and see who we have that's fatigued now and who we can actually send out. I think we're going to have quite a few fatigued. Well, Atkinson would have been fatigued, but he had to bail out. Okay, Birtwistle is no longer fatigued because he sat out last time. Let's see, Ellsworth is fatigued, but he's in the hospital. Fitzroy. I forgot to grab those markers for. We got Fitzroy and Doggett as our new replacements. So get some green markers for them. So they'll be available to fly. Let's see, who else? Gaines is not fatigued. Hooley is fatigued. Irwin is not. Jap is not. Northcott is fatigued. Pertwee's fine. Rathbone's fine. Upchurch and White are both fatigued. All right, so we have 4 fatigued pilots. Let's see what we can do with the rest of these. So Rathbone, let's see if we can fill out 3 sections at least. I'll have Rathbone, Irwin, and Jap be our section leaders. We'll assign Pertwee over here. Looks like we're 1 pilot short of being able to fly 3 sections. So let's go ahead and have I think we'll fly White fatigued. So we'll flip him upside down to show that he's fatigued. And yeah, we'll go with that for this patrol. All right, let's finish our setup here. We need to roll to see where the patrol start, or where the squadron starts. 3 is going to be deep. And then our initial visibility, we've got a 6, which is going to be clear sun. 4 is going to be at port. So clear sun, sun at port, already there. All right. Now that we've made our assignments, we can go ahead and bring Atkinson back from the bailout box. And let's go ahead and roll for our hospital guys. We'll just have to, if we get that cratered event again next time, we'll have to remember if any of these guys just returned from the hospital. Let's start with Osgood. 9, I think, might be a return, yes. So Osgood is back. Possibly. I'll set them off the board to show that they just returned. All right, how about Kershaw? Kershaw is also back. And Ellsworth. Ellsworth has to stay in. All right. I think we are ready to get started. Oh, not yet. We need our fuel markers. So yellow section's not flying. So just need these 3. And yeah, ready to go. So raid vector sequence, starting with the reveal. Oh, getting that raid marker out quick. We got 2 flak. So we will have a tally-ho opportunity. got an engine hit. And a wing. That's my self-inflicted damaged wing marker there. Had a little mishap when spraying them with some coating to try to reduce the wear, and introduced a lot of extra wear. All right, so now we can do a tally-ho. We can either, can't do both, either move to an adjacent zone or go to high altitude. So I think we'll go to an adjacent zone. That will cost us fuel. The raid marker comes down. It is clear visibility, so we will roll for the escorts. Got an 8, which is going to be both heavy. 109's high. And 110's at port, which at least for now is out of the sun. Okay. That's all we need to do. Then our second reveal is a straggler, which we will ignore. All right, that's going to take us to the fuel step. So we'll burn another fuel. Then contact. I don't know if we want to try to contact them from an adjacent zone. Thing is, if we don't, then we might miss our opportunity. Let's see what we have here. We'd have to spend the fuel, and we'd be looking at, assuming we want to spend another fuel, which we probably will, we're looking at either tail low, flank low, or nose high. Flank low. Here's my chart. Here it is. Worst case, tail low. We'd be looking at needing an 11, unless we could suppress them. If we were able to, then it would only be a 7. Sorry, over here. Flank low would also be an 11 or a 5, assuming we came in on the other side, which we would. And then nose high would be awesome if we could get it, because then we'd only be looking at us needing a 7. We've got 2 markers to reveal in the next stack if we bypass this opportunity. You know what? Let's go ahead and try it. So we have to spend the fuel because we're making contact from an adjacent zone. We don't have the -2 modifier. There's no clouds. Come on, 9 through 12. And we cannot use pluck to adjust this die roll like I tried to do last time. Fortunately, I caught myself. 12, yes, all right. So we can spend another fuel and come in nose high. So we'll do that. Nose high. All right. And I believe since we have no clouds, we get to see what the bombers are now. Contact. Sun. Into red vector sequence. Bomber places bomber tiles. Yep. So unless it were clouds, we do get to, which it isn't, we do get to see what the bomber formation is now. All right, so 4 is going to be Dornier's, and 11 is going to be this configuration here. Interesting. Ooh, that's great. All we got to do is disrupt these 3 tiles, and we're looking at 9 victory points right there. Okay. So let me get that set up and be right back. All right, there we have it. And since we made contact, we exit the raid vector sequence and drop down to the interception sequence, starting with orders. So let's look at our interception chart again. We are coming in nose high up here, and so the high station only requires a 6. Starboard report is a 7, so we'll use the 7. I don't think we need to bother trying to suppress them. We do get our re-roll if we need it to spend by spending a fuel, and we have 3 section leaders that are veterans, so we can potentially get up to +3 with pluck. So we're just going to give everyone a bomber's order. And hope we can get a 7 or higher. There it is. Successful interception. I never even set my fighters up. Guess we'll just go ahead and put them right in the bomber formation. Everyone but yellow. Alrighty. So coming in from the nose. And like I said, we're going to want to try to disrupt these 3 tiles. If we could do that on the first pass, I think I'd be content with saying sayonara before the escorts show up. I think we'll just go ahead and do 3 on each. Before we do that, though, actually before I assign these as to who they're going to go after specifically, we got 2 flak that we got to put in here that I almost forgot about again. So we'll just go, you can go on any of them. We'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then the blue die will be which bomber. 11's too big. It's going to be the port side bomber. So 4 is this one. And that was for the engine damage. That was the first one that came out, so we'll go with that. So they're going to drop out. Just set them over here. We're going to ignore them for now. And then our other one has to go on a different tile. 2. It's going to be this one, and 4 was the second roll, so that's again the port side bomber. All right. So we want to keep these two in the mix as long as possible, so I think we'll start up here. Yeah. Or, no, let's actually... Because if we have any that we want to fail, it would probably be this one. We don't want either. We want maximum chance that these will succeed, because that's going to separate 6 of them. If this one fails and this one fails, then, or if this one fails, even if this one succeeds, we're only isolating 1. So I think we want to make sure that we get these 2. Maximize our chances of getting these 2, I should say. Alright, so we'll start down here actually with blue section. Although they're not really a section at this point. We need our medium bomber deck again. Yeah, no chance of Stukas on chapter 3, so we won't need the light bomber deck at all for this chapter. Not sure if chapter 4 is the same or not. Just take a quick sneak peek. Yeah, no Stukas. Makes sense because they're shorter range, obviously. So we won't be needing the light bomber deck for the rest of this playthrough. And we are nose high, not nose low, so we don't have the first round penalty of not being able to disrupt. All right, and almost forgot, we need to remove our squadron marker from the interception map since they have successfully intercepted. All right, so starting with blue 2, coming in on the nose. Look at that, only needs 4 to disrupt. Collision check and low ammo. We will go low ammo, make a collision check, safe, and this tile is disrupted, which isolates all 3 of these. Isolated, I should say. So all 3 of those get isolated. So there's 3 victory points just from 1 card draw, like that. Chapter 3, Patrol 2, and 1 Keta isolated. Alright, so blue leader now has an isolated tile coming in on the nose. 3 is going to be enough for them to drop out. Collision and low ammo. They are fallen. Slide them out of the way. And we now have a lone Dornier. We have to do his collision check. Ooh, close. All right, and then blue 3. Now on a lone bomber, there we go, finally get a damage result, and he goes low ammo. And for our damage, Cockpit would be excellent. The Dorniers are pretty tough. You got to get 4 hits on them. Well, all the mediums are 4, but you got to get 3 engine hits, I guess is the distinguishing feature of these. All right, well, we got 1 engine hit. All right, so that's it for them. We'll move back to blue 3. Not blue 3, red 3. Group and isolate on 5. Yes, we have 8 actually. And then they take return fire. So these 3 become isolated. Yeah, I like that wrong before. Not 1 Ketan isolated, 3 Ketan isolated, and now 3 more. For a total of 6. And return fire. Is a hit, fuselage 7. All right, red 2. Isolated tile now. Green pilot takes a hit. Red 2 is being flown by, what's his name again? Fitzroy. So he is green. However, Rathbone will use his stay close privilege to cancel that. Low ammo and drops out distress on a 2, so that will happen. So both of these now are lone bombers. Low ammo for Fitzroy. Okay, now red leader. A lone bomber this time gets a damage on a low ammo. Hits the wing. All right. Let's see if green section can completely disrupt this formation. Get green 2 flying the right direction, that might help. All right, green 3. We're up on top again. Ooh, need 11 for that one, but he does get a damage. Low ammo and return fire. See what he gets for damage. Sorry, this side. Wing. And then return fire. Mechanical trouble. And here's a refresher on what the 2 possible outcomes of that are. Let's see. It's not on here. Inside on the sequence of play, I think. Yeah, there we go. So So mechanical failure is even, it exits and becomes lost contact, odd at RTBs. Even. So, whoops. They are lost contact. All right, green leader. Ooh, now we're getting all the big numbers. We needed these earlier. Green pilot, he's not green, so nothing happens. And last chance here, at least in the first round. Ooh, 6. Oh, we do get a damage result, so will that be enough? 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Oh, if we hadn't lost green 2 or green 3 there, I would have done it. All right, so we get a damage. It's another wing hit. And return fire. Is a hit, fuselage 8. All right, so that concludes the first bomber cycle. So everyone disengages. We have 2 hit checks to resolve. Start with the fuselage 8. Nope. To the fate box. And fuselage 7. Trivial. All right. Now we do have the option to bug out at this point. One of our viewers had questioned this on, I think it was the last patrol of Chapter 2, where I just stuck around for 1 round in the bomber formation area and then left. And he was kind of surprised that I didn't have to deal with any escorts. But if you follow the sequence of play, so what we just did was from the intercept phase, we resolved a bomber's, I think the chart illustrates this better, so let's look at that actually. So we were resolving a bomber's order, which was successful. So we go to round 1, takes us over to the bomber cycle. We did the approach step. All of our fighters approached the bomber formation. We did our burst step, we disengaged, we did our hit check, and now we're resuming. So because we entered from the interception sequence, we resume the interception sequence. Which takes us back to here. We didn't have any cruise orders to resolve, so now we go to the entropy phase. And the first step of that is bomber formation, which takes us right back to the bomber cycle. And during the approach step, any fighters can RTB if they are not engaged. So what I had chosen to do for that patrol was once we got to here, I just sent everyone back home. And you'll notice that's before you get to the first escort reaction. So you get basically two free shots at the bomber formation before the escorts react. And if you choose to leave at the beginning of the second bomber cycle, then you're out of there before the escorts have a chance to get on you. All right, but I think in this case, we've got 3 victory points still sitting here. Possibly more, because we've got a couple of damaged, couple other damaged bombers as well. I think we'll stick around and see if we can't rack up a few more points here. Give us a little cushion, so if we do have a patrol where we decide, you know, it's not worth it, let's just leave and not get any points, it won't really hurt us too bad. All right, so we'll come in from the flank this time, so we don't have to delay anyone. So we're again going to target this front bomber here. So let's send... let's do it this way. I'm going to try to have enough to at least kind of make sure that we get them down, or isolated at least. And then why don't we send these 3 after this guy with an engine damage. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Plus, if we look through the ones we've already seen, there's 7 gives us a, unless we've just gotten lucky and got all the low ones up early, but 7 seems to be pretty above average for being able to disrupt. Man, I just hate to, I mean, I kind of want to go after this 1 point here, extra point, but at the same time, I don't want to forfeit 3 just to try to get an extra 1. And maybe we better load up some more here, because hopefully we'll destroy 1 or both of these too, maybe. Yeah, you know what? Let's just focus on this. Make sure we get this isolation result here. We'll let those guys go. In fact, let's try to make sure, or increase our chances. Nothing's sure in this game, but increase our chances of damaging one, or killing 1 or both of those as well. All right. I like that better. Okay, so we're going to start up here with green leader. There it is. Man, we could have gotten away with a lot less. We got a damage result though. That's nice too. So collision check. Let's see what happens there. Nope. In that case, the damage wouldn't matter because the bomber would be destroyed too. Oh, wait a minute. We're on this one, dummy. 9. I think we still got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we did get the isolation, but guns are jammed. Got so used to looking at that first column in the first round, I just automatically went there. All right, so these are isolated now. So that's 3 more. For a total of 9 points so far. All right. Yeah, I was even talking about that when I was saying most of the approaches from the nose have pretty low disruption numbers, and then not even thinking, well, I'm not approaching from the nose this time. All right, we got it straight though. So let's do red 2 next. We're now on an isolated tile, starboard report. He is going to fall out and takes a dorsal gunner hit. Let's get another lone bomber tile. Transfer all this to it. That was all that happened to him. Mark that as fallen. And then red 3, see if he can finish him off. Yes. And low ammo. Okay. So red 3, piloted by Pertwee, gets a bomber kill. First for the patrol, and second for him. I gotta remember I didn't mark down who all was flying this patrol yet either. Pertwee's not going to be green anymore after this patrol. This is his 4th. Alright, so this one's now destroyed. And yeah, nothing else happened to him. Okay. These all go back. And we'll move on to blue 2. Isolated tile. Damage 5 is going to be enough to drop them out. So they go low ammo. Are they a veteran? They are a veteran. That's white. Oh, he's fatigued too. I have to remember what all that affects. I know it's collision checks. It's probably fate check rolls too. I'll check. I don't think it's anything that's happened yet that would affect it. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Damage. Question is, do we want him to use his privilege to not go low ammo? I don't think so. We got a wing hit, second wing hit. So yeah, I'm fine with him running out of ammo. Save his perk in case he needs it for his, if he has to do a fate check. All right, next up we have blue 3. Oh, sorry. He drops out. Almost forgot that little important piece. So we're on the bottom row now. Port or starboard. Green pilot. Blue 3 is green. That's our other new guy, Gaines. But Jap can use his privilege to say, stay close. And so we can ignore that. Gets a hit and low ammo. Another wing, wow. How's that thing still flying? Alrighty. And let's see if Red Leader can finish them off. Yes, indeedy. They go low ammo again. That's fine. I don't know if he's already used his privilege anyway. I think he had to tell Fitzroy to stay close earlier. The final damage that takes down the bomber is an engine. We'll credit Rathbone with a bomber kill. That's our second of the patrol. And his third. So that completes the burst step. Everyone disengages. We have no hit checks to resolve. That's excellent. This guy's destroyed. So now, time to pay the piper. Escort reaction. Oh, I gotta reshuffle these cards. Give me a sec. All right. Got everything reshuffled. So let's draw our escort reaction card. See what we have to deal with. Ignore the clouds. For help arrives, we've got port. So we got 2 coming from there. That's our 110s. We got 2 coming from the high station, and then they will get reduced. So we'll do the 2 109s first. So let's see who's going to get hit with those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll just have to re-roll anything higher than a 7. 2. So it's going to be this one. Red 2. Luftwaffe advantage card. It is a heavy escort, so this will apply. So we got head on with a rota and tailed by a rota. And these are 109s. All right, head on first. Lone fighter against 109s. They vanish, and if we are green, we take a hit. Red 2 is indeed green. It's Fitzroy. And we got a rudder 8. Means he cannot choose a maneuver for the tailed card. And we're down here, and that's another hit. And it's a fuselage 8. Let's roll for those. Red will be the fuselage, blue will be the rudder. And red fuselage is not trivial, so off he goes to the fuselage box. All right, our second 109 reaction is going to go to 10, so that'll be this one. Blue 2. he's got, they're not 110s. So tailed by a swarm. No ammo. I think we just evade. Hit and reduced or hit and vanish. We'll go with hit and vanish. Ooh, fuselage 11. Yikes. Ooh, it's trivial. Nice. All right, now we got the ones from the 110 station. And I think everyone's back in the mix for, although I don't know, I had this question several patrols ago about how to handle, like, if you have more cards than you have fighters, and I was thinking it was like per station, so you'd have to have, like in this case, fewer than 2 fighters. But I found out from a post someone posted that Jerry had responded to earlier, and also looking at the example in the rule book as opposed to just the rules in the rule book, that it is in total, like the total number of cards that you draw amongst all the stations can't exceed the number of fighters, and you prioritize 109s over 110s. So given that, it almost seems like each fighter should only be potentially targeted once by all of the escorts that are reacting. So we'll do it that way. So we'll leave him out of the mix for this next one. And so we'll roll to see who gets the first 110. 12 is too high. 3 is going to be this guy, red 3. And I need to make sure I remember to look at the correct row or column on the dogfight cards for these, since they're 110s. Head on with a Rota. Hun in the Sun. Our 110s are in the Sun, so we're also going to be tailed by a Rota. This guy, he only went 1 round, right? Yeah, he evaded and then they vanished. So yeah, he's not, he's still in the area. All right, so head on first. And 110s against a lone fighter. They vanish and we take a hit. Very similar to that first dogfight. Say rudder 8. Looking very similar to that first dogfight. And then tailed, since we're damaged, we cannot maneuver, or since we have a hit marker, I should say. We don't know if we're damaged yet. Okay, 110s, lone fighter, nothing happens. Interesting. All right, so now we need to roll for our hit check. And it's trivial. Now we are entering our second round of dogfighting, so we do go lost contact. And this time, what's our ammo situation? We're low. Do we try to turn into them? Or do we try to evade? Let's try to turn into them. Are we a... No, Red 3 is not a veteran. That's Birtwistle. No, that's Fitzroy. Yeah, we'll try a turn. Hey, look at that. Lone fighter, 110s. Turn is successful and they vanish. Perfect. Put them up there, lost with our other lost contact fighter. All right, so we're down to these 4 for the final reaction card. And 8 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Blue leader. Jap. It's already used his privilege. Let's see what he encounters. Again, these are 110s. This will not apply. So we're tailed by a swarm of 110s. Let's try turning again. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, good thing too. That would have been bad. So the turn is successful. If we were green, we would take a hit. But this is, what did I say, Jap? Yeah. It was not green. So nothing happens to us. Successful turn, so we are now head on with them. This is the second round of combat though, so also lost contact. And head on lone fighter with 110s, low ammo, and they vanish. That is perfectly fine. He will also join his other lost contact fellows. All right, then we do reductions. So the high station is reduced if they are 109s, and they are. Lead would move to a head, but no one's there, and there's no ambush. Let me go back. And we go next to the chase step of the entropy phase. We'll have all of these lost contact fighters RTB. And then patrol complete, no. Spend the fuel. Escort recovery, no one was suppressed. Escort exit. So 109s will exit on 11, 110s will not exit at all. So let's see what we get for the 109s. Nope, they're sticking around. And no, nothing for channel patrol, nothing for reform, raid vector. So marker moves over and we reveal this pile. Another straggler, which we will ignore. And weather and Messerschmitts. So the weather goes to Hayes. And let me see how this Messerschmitts works when all you have is fighters in the bomber formation area. Select section. If no section, select a fighter. See if the rules elaborate on that at all. Who fights? Select a section at random. If none, select a fighter at random. Yeah, so it looks like it could be anyone. So one of these four will have to deal with another dogfight. And it is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Blue 3. And Messerschmitt's result is always 109s. So it's not a heavy escort. So we're just tailed by Rota. I think we will evade. So green pilot takes a hit and reduced, or just a hit and reduced. Well, I think blue 3 is a green pilot, so either way we're taking a hit. But they will be reduced, and then the evade result, or the evade maneuver, produces an additional reduced result, so they're gone. But we are hit. And it's a wing 5. Oh no. To the fate box. All right, that concludes the raid vector step. Swirl again. Nothing for orders, nothing for intercept. Entropy. Go to the bomber formation area. During the approach step, everyone RTBs. So nothing for reaction, nothing for chase. Patrol complete, yes. Just cleaning up some markers here. All right, let's see what we got. We have 2 pilots in the fuselage box. So we'll do the 2-die roll for this. First, red die will be for their result, and blue die, if necessary, will be their outcome. 12 is successful landing. 8 through 12. How about green 2? That's probably who is blue 2 is our fatigued pilot, but he was able to RTB, so I think we're okay there. So this is for green 2, and they got an 11, which is also a successful landing. then we have blue 3. A 2 is not. They catch on fire, and 6 will be, hang on, are they green? Blue 3 is gains. So yes, green pilot. So we're down on the red row. And a 6 is going to be hospitalized. So gains goes to the hospital. And then no bailout checks for our RTB folks. And that should be it. So let's tally up our results. Actually, while I'm thinking about it here, let me record who all flew on this patrol. Pertwee, which means he's no longer green. Rathbone, Fitzroy, Doggett, Irwin, Birdswhistle, Gaines, Jap, and White. All right, so for our point situation, we had 2 bomber kills and 9 Ketan isolated for a total of 11 points. No one bailed out, 1 wounded, no one killed. Very successful patrol, in my estimation. That puts us at 16 points, which I think, does that take us out of the disaster zone? Similar to the danger zone, but not as fun. Yes, it does. Look at that. So we're already not having to worry about disaster for this patrol. So we can kind of cruise through these last 6, or for this chapter, I should say. So we can kind of cruise through these last 6 patrols without taking too many risks, or any risks. Well, you always take risks, right? As soon as you climb into the cockpit. Yeah, so that's pretty happy with that. Let's roll for our replacements. So we're currently short 4 fighters. We have 4 that are in the graveyard over there. So we're down on this row now. So we need an 11 or higher to get 2, a 7 or higher to get 1. And we get none. All right, that's going to wrap things up for this episode of Skies Above Britain. Second patrol of Chapter 2. We're in excellent shape to finish this chapter out without a disaster. And looking forward to completing this. All right, well, thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next episode. I am leaving tomorrow for Origins, so I will not be recording here for the next several days. So, but hoping to find some fun new games to bring home with me, and we'll see you after I get back.